I was just waiting for that camera to pop up. Anyway, here we are. Happy Sunday to you, everybody. Thanks for joining me a little bit early here on this Sunday. We may kind of shift the time a little bit earlier. I'm going to just be completely transparent with you. The kids have some projects due for school tomorrow, and I need to help. All right. We got to get them done this evening, and they're in no shape right now with dinner to get them done. So, anyway, not that you need to know all that, but a lot of you I consider family. So, that's kind of why we're shifting this time up. It's getting a little too late and a little chaotic in the evenings. A lot of you parents out there know how Sunday evenings get. So we're going to try this a little bit early as we get into our Sundays here. And you can always watch this later if you are, more of a late evening kind of person. Once you're settling down to watch the forecast, none of this is going to change. All right. So no, Tom, there is not a big storm coming or anything like that. Again, this just works better this evening for our family schedule. So there's that. Hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. Boy, it is so nice to have this kind of spring preview that we've got ongoing outside. And it's really not that warm. It's really not. And this week's really not going to be that warm. But compared to where we've been the last 2 months of these below average temperatures, boy, it's feeling great. It really is. And it's been nice to see that sunshine. We have some clouds floating through right now. But real quick, let me get through the sponsors. If you need to get a drink of water or you just want to sit tight, get comfy in your couch or wherever you're watching this. Where are you guys watching this? Are you on the go? Are you at home? Are you sitting down? I'm so curious about, kind of where you are in your day when you tune into these. So go ahead, throw those in the comments. Let me get through our sponsors, FBIbuildings.com. Guys, if you need a pole barn constructed or one renovated, they've done over 20,000 of them in the Midwest. Go to their Facebook page. They're amazing. They do amazing, modern, great structures. And it blows my mind, people that know how to design. Anyway, FBIbuildings.com, place to go for that. Meals on Wheels, they want to thank you. They're big. Dine with the Chefs is sold out. That's their big annual fundraiser. They want to thank you for that. A couple of you have messaged me about it. I'm sure several of you are going, which is awesome. So they just want to remind you, if you're in need, or if there's someone that you know, maybe a neighbor or a family member that's in need of some warm meals, right? Whether it be financial or, maybe they just can't get to the grocery store with disability, whatever it is. Meals on Wheels, Northwest Indiana, guys, they're there. $5.99 per meal. They deliver Monday through Friday. You get one more meal. And again, no age or financial requirements for it whatsoever. They do great work. So please reach out to them for more. It's MOWNWY. So Meals on Wheels, NorthwestIndiana.org. Or you can call Melissa at 219-756-3663. PSA, that's our public service adjusters. Boy, they've been busy. You should go to their Facebook page as well. Not that I want to send you all over the place, right? Because we've got a forecast to give. But publicserviceadjusting.com, they had an example last week. So what they do, if you have an insurance claim, instead of going to your insurance agency, which tries to not give you any money for whatever you need, PSA comes in, they'll take pictures of it, they'll deal with your insurance company for you. But they have an example this week of an insurance company, a letter that an insurance company sent to a client and was asking for all this information. And PSA stepped in and said, this is way too much. You're expecting them to know, I don't know, scientific levels of this and this and this. This is ridiculous. We demand we do this or else we're going to get a lawyer involved. They are so stubborn and awesome, and they will get you what you deserve in terms of, insurance money, and they're great. And it's 5-star reviews across the board. Publicserviceadjusting.com. TigerPlumbing.net. If you guys need a plumber, that's the place to go. They come out for free, which is amazing this day and age. You can take photos of the problem or a video of the problem, send it to the plumbers. That way they can know what they're getting into in advance. Guys, if you need any plumbing work around the house, especially as we get into spring, we start to clean things up, maybe tidy things up, new faucet, new this, make sure the pipes are going the right way, gutters, all that stuff. Not that they do gutters. But anyway, tigerplumbing.net, place to go. Minogue.life. Michael Minogue is our life insurance, Medicare, Medicaid guru. He knows everything around the world of all that. And what he will do with you, he'll sit down for a no-cost review with you and go through. There are so many things that maybe you're not using in terms of your Medicare benefits or Medicaid, or maybe with life insurance you have too much of it, or maybe you don't have enough. He'll sit down and review all that for free, and he'll go through everything. He also explores if you're eligible for federal and state programs that maybe you're missing out of. He'll review all your current benefits. He'll review your doctors, your hospitals of choice, making sure everyone's in network. And you can explore a different plan if it's a better fit for you, or he'll just tell you your plan is great. It really is. But it's really important to sit down and get all that ironed out. I know it's not fun, but still something to do. And he does it for no cost, at least reviewing everything. Minogue.life, place to go for that. Kate Cusack, she joined us a couple weeks ago for Snow Report. She just did awesome. She knows that it's cold and snowy, but once spring hits, you want to be ready to go for your dream home, right? Or maybe your first home. So make sure you have everything in line, and she will do that for you, making sure your pre-approval's there, making sure that all of your things are checked off in terms of what you're looking for, and she'll find the house for you on top of all that. Kate Cusack with Ruoff Mortgage. You can text her, which is amazing. Most of the time you can't text folks, but she'll let you text her, 219-775-6645, or visit her at Kate Cusack Home Loan Girl here on Facebook. Finally, last but not least, Grieger's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Valparaiso. They've been serving Northwest Indiana for decades. They've got brand new Jeeps ready to go. And remember, with a lot of the Jeeps, the doors come off, and it's intentional. It's like Legos. You just drive this thing around, and you've got free air flowing around you. It's amazing. Great, cool vehicles they've got over there. Grieger's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Valparaiso. All right, let's dive into the forecast, shall we? Let me say hi to my early birds here this evening. Ethan is with us. Hi, Ethan. DZ's with us on our YouTube channel. Jeff, hello for you. JP's with us saying he's ready for warmer weather to stick around. JP, me too. My goodness, I've never been more ready for spring. I don't know how you guys feel. Joe, hi from Cedar Lake. Thanks for tuning in here this afternoon into the early evening. I guess it's still afternoon. Gail, good evening to you. Kelly, hello. Let's see. Angel's with us as well. Maxwell, I'm sorry to hear about that news. Oh, thanks for letting me know that. Diane, hello to you. And Jennifer, hi from LaPorte, new here from Portage. Very good. Jennifer, thanks for joining us. I appreciate that. We're going to dive into this. Nestor's at a bar with his wife and a cigar. That's awesome, Nestor. Let's see. Angel's listening to the dog snore on the couch. Very good. Diane's in California. JP's home trying to unwind a bit from a nap before work tonight. Yeah, JP does third shift like I do. Let's see. Jay says ready to be done with winter. Philip says too early for this. Philip, you're either talking about the broadcast or the warm air. The warm air, no. Broadcast, yes. And Maxwell says, I appreciate you going live early. I go to work at 7 tonight. Okay. Well, Maxwell, have a good night at work. Debbie, hello to you. James and Nancy, hello as well. All right. Well, I appreciate you joining me early. So let me give you some substance. All right. You guys have waited long enough. I always appreciate you letting me get through those sponsors. I really do. And they appreciate it as well. And again, they keep everything for free. I'll tell you, cost of everything has just gone up everywhere. Everywhere we're getting hit by it. It's ridiculous. And you are too. I get it. And I appreciate our sponsors more than ever. All right. Here's our satellite picture right now. We've got a couple systems going on. There's one down towards the Gulf right now, not impacting us, but a lot of folks from Indiana, right, snowbirds, go down south and they go to Florida and the Gulf Coast for vacation to get into the sun and into the warmth. And this is the second system in a week that has brought clouds and rain. They had snow last week. This is mainly all rain. But it's a mess down in the Gulf Coast. It's gross, right? So we actually have some of the nicest weather, not necessarily temperature-wise. It's warming up. But you can see we've got clouds with some sunshine just off towards our west. But there's a couple systems off towards the north. There's one off here in areas of southern Canada, Manitoba, over towards Alberta. This is coming our way, and it'll clip areas of northern Michigan tomorrow with some rain. We're not going to get hit by it. But the difference between that, the next low, and the high pressure that's heading out is going to create pretty good wind field. So we're going to have a pretty windy day tomorrow into tomorrow night as a result of this system off towards the north. And then there's another one behind that will bring us some shower chances. You can see some of the action on the west coast. That'll bring us our shower chances on Tuesday. So let's dive into the forecast. Remember, all these lines, when they're scrunched together, those are isobars. When they're scrunched together, it means it's windy. You have a very quick pressure change and a very short distance. That equates to wind, essentially. And so what we've got here is increasing wind tonight. Tomorrow morning, winds are going to be pretty gusty. There's that system off towards the north. No impact to us other than wind as we go throughout the morning hours. And then tomorrow evening into tomorrow night, we get a few showers out of this as the system kind of has a second area of energy with it that'll float through. But we're talking rain showers at this point, all right? So we've got some rain shower chances around here tomorrow late in the evening into tomorrow night. That heads by, the winds start to relax, and then we'll talk another warm-up as the high pressure heads down to the south. That warm-up comes in here. Tuesday, not bad, but Wednesday will be better. So in terms of the long-range forecast, there's system 1. Here's system 2 with some showers. And then we deal with this next system that's coming in here on Wednesday. This will bring rain to the area. It'll bring some pretty mild temperatures. You can see you see these blue lines and red lines. I rarely talk about these, but these are heights. Basically shows the temperature at different as you get into the atmosphere, right? We use these for a freezing line a lot of times to be able to tell where the rain snow changeover is or icing changeover is. But for the basic weather's sake, red is warmer and blue is cooler in terms of our atmosphere aloft. And what we'll see coming in here with this Wednesday system is there's a little ridge coming in. Notice how some of those red lines start to get up in here. That 546 height line is going to climb pretty close to Northwest Indiana, which is good for our temperatures. I'll show you that in here in a second. But we are going to have some rain around. There'll be some snow with this off towards the north. And looking at the system last week, it did look a lot bigger. It looked like we'd have a little bit more moisture with it, that it would have a deeper area of low pressure. And to be honest, it's kind of fizzled out over the last couple model runs over the weekend. It's still a system, and it's still going to bring some changes to us weather-wise, but overall, we're not looking at a huge impact from this. So we're going to be dealing with some rain around here on Wednesday, and then once that system gets through, Thursday is going to feature colder air coming in aloft. You see these cold blue lines coming down. We've got a wind out of the northwest. We'll go from spring preview on Wednesday back to not as bad as we were by any means, but it is going to be on the colder side of things. As we go into Thursday, we'll likely have another area of energy that rotates around that low. That would bring some really cold rain showers, maybe some graupel, which are those little Dippin' Dots, the little balls, little ice balls that are falling. We may have some of those around during the peak heating on Thursday. And then Friday, we could have some snowflakes around as we have that colder air in here. Another quick moving system off towards the north. Again, all the action is going to be in southern Canada this week. We're kind of the southern recipient of all those storm systems, though. But another system comes in with some shower chances Friday. Saturday, we're dealing with just a few flurry chances as this moves through, but we're colder again. Really, all these systems that are zipping through in Canada, all they're doing is preventing us from warming up, all right? If you remember, March is past as we dive into the month of March. We can get some really warm air in March. We can get 70s and 80s. I mean, it's possible to do that, but we can't in this pattern because every time we try to warm up, these systems are coming in and kind of knocking us down. But our cold air is not going to be as cold, and our warm kind of top that we're going to have, our peak is going to be on the warmer side. So we're getting there, but we're getting there kind of slowly as of right now. And that's the way the last couple winters have gone, right? In terms of Marches being not so warm. And you can see Monday next week. I mean, this is getting into fantasy land. The GFS and the Euro both agree sometime around March 4th and 5th, which is a week from today, a week and a couple days from today, that we'd have a bigger system around. That could have some thunderstorms with it. It's way too early to call, right? But you can see the big change on the backside of that. So we're not done with storm potential, and I don't want to say snowstorm potential, but we could still have some really good heavy wet snows around here. We're not done with snow by any means. We are getting close though. I believe we're in the 70% done stage, and I'll do a post this week on that once I do the math. But we've still got some winter to go, and you can see, on the modeling, it continues to show that, maybe winter's not done. Here are your temperatures, at least on the Euro, which I side with the most in terms of these model runs. Notice the 50s. Tomorrow, 53, 50 on Tuesday, and 52 on Wednesday. I mean, these are some pretty nice days. This is going to feel really nice, right? So we've got some warm air, and even at night, we're right around the freezing mark all 3 nights. And so, the melt is already on, but again, the thaw is going to be on here. And if you have a dog, you dog owners know exactly what you're going to be dealing with this week, right? With the warm up, the wet soil. We've got muddy paws coming into the house again. If you've got kids, you've got muddy paws coming in the house again. But that's where we're headed in terms of this week. And then notice the cold air on the back side of this isn't particularly cold Friday, Saturday. Another system comes in, perhaps knocks us down on Sunday. But notice the bounce backs aren't as bad, right? We're getting into the 40s at least. As we get, behind a front, you have a cold day, but then you get back into the 40s. And those 40s are eventually going to become 50s. But you notice, we're not exactly warm, and especially getting into March, all indication is that first week of March we turn colder again behind a system. So there's that. I want to show you a couple things. These numbers, I know they're real small, but I want you to focus on this line right here. I don't know if you could see that. No, you can't. Shoot, it's just off the screen. Anyway, I just want to take you through some of these are the February temperatures from last year. Okay, just to show you what we're capable of this time of year. Last year's today, we were at 47 degrees. We had been in the 50s and 60s for 2 days. And then going forward this week, last year on the 25th, it was 60. Last year on the 26th, it was 70. And that was 70 on the 27th and 60 on the 28th. And I go back every year, and it's a very similar story to that, where we are capable of 60s and 70s this time of year. They don't last long, but those are kind of the warm hits that we can get into, and we're just not seeing it in the forecast. As soon as I see it, even if it's on day 15, I'm going to post about it. We'll probably do a live about it and have a celebration. I just don't see it yet. And here's why. This is really the final thing I have for you. Then I'll answer your questions if you guys have them. But here's why. The jet stream, it's just oriented from northwest to southeast. It's been this way since January 1st, right? And it's been more extreme where we get the big bouts of cold air, but we don't see any big troughs out west. They are getting the rain out west, like Oregon and Washington, especially over the last couple storm systems. Even Southern Cal got some rain out of it. So, it's not completely dry with a huge ridge out west, but we've got kind of this semi-zonal flow where everything's coming from west to east, but it's coming from like northwest to southeast in a way. It's not dramatic, but it's there. And you can see as we go through time, I mean, this is 26th of February. This is the last day of February. We're starting to get a couple more dramatic undulations in the jet stream. But as long as we're going from, areas of Western Canada down towards Georgia and the Carolinas in terms of our flow of air masses, that's going to keep the cold air bottled up in the eastern half of the country, and all the warming is down towards the southwest. And so that pattern just doesn't change as we go through the beginning of March, first couple of weeks of March. You notice how we just don't get the warm air in there. What we need, and what's kind of promising on this model, this is, again, fantasy land. We're up to March 11th, but you see this big ridge that comes in at the end. That's what we need. We need a big ridge to come into the west, but we need it to be progressive, where it moves off towards the east, and we finally get that trough out west. When they turn cold out west, we turn warm out east, and it just hasn't been that cold out there, as they've been under generally a ridge for much of January and February. And so I don't see any changes as of right now. Again, our warmers are going to get warmer, and our colders are going to get less cold as we get more daylight. But it gets tough this time of year. It really does get tough. A couple facts I have for you. My buddy Matt Standridge, who I worked with, points out that you've probably seen this online, but they have a nice article from their indie station that he works at. We used to work together. But anyway, there's a 7-planet alignment that starts tonight, goes all the way through the 28th, where you can see Mars and Jupiter, Venus, Neptune, Saturn, and Mercury all in the sky from southeast to southwest. So if you look in the southeast to southwest sky, we need to get these clouds out. They're high clouds right now, but I think they'll clear out for a little bit tonight, which would help. But anyway, if you look southeast over to southwest, you can see all those planets. If you have a telescope, you can see Uranus and you can see Neptune with binoculars, but especially a telescope. But 7 planets going to line up. Again, that's the 23rd tonight through the 28th, so all week long. That's kind of a cool thing. And then I was looking at average temperatures. These are just some random water cooler facts before we get to your questions. But in terms of average temperatures the next couple of weeks, this is our quickest warming time frame of the year, all right? We're gaining 3 degrees in terms of our average highs per week. That's a lot meteorologically, right? So our average high is 40 today, and we're talking Porter County Airport. That's where I base everything out of. 40 is our average high today. It's 43 by next Sunday, 46 by the 9th, 49 by the 16th, and then 52 by the 23rd. So just a couple weeks, our average, our midpoint is going to be in the 50s. Again, we are warming faster now than any other time of the year. And in terms of sunset times and sunrise too, we have the time change in less than 2 weeks now. Isn't that crazy? So our sunset tonight's at 5:32, but it goes in 2 weeks. On Sunday night, our sunset goes to 6:48 p.m. Don't forget, we make up for that in the morning, all right? So our sunrise is at 6:30 now. It'll go back to 7. So your mornings are going to be a little darker on that morning commute for a little bit, and then it'll kind of recover back to where it was. But less than 2 weeks, you guys, or actually, I guess it would be 2 weeks, we're going to have 6:48 sunsets. That makes me so happy. However, it usually stays cold then, so you still can't enjoy the outdoors. So there's that. Anyway, all right, let's answer your questions. If you guys have any questions, we'd be happy to answer those. Again, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you taking time out of your schedule and flexing with our family schedule as well. Again, for those that are just tuning in or just tuned in, I've got to start doing these a little bit earlier. I've got kids with projects and homework now that needs to be done in the evening, and I can't leave that all on my wife. So, so I need to be available for that. So this is a great chunk of time. And again, you can watch this later. If you normally tune in, 7, 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time, this is here for you, okay? You can watch the whole thing. I just can't answer you directly like I can right now, okay? All right, so JP brings up a good point. Boy, this couldn't be more accurate. We need a good rain to wash away the salt. I'm not too sure Tuesday's rain's going to do it. We may have some heavier embedded showers in that as it moves through tomorrow night into Tuesday morning. But man, yeah, if you get a heavier shower, it's going to be like a bath to the sidewalks, to the roads, all that stuff, for sure. Lynn, no, you didn't miss it. I appreciate it. So it sounds like maybe this earlier time works for you. That's good. Janelle says, buy the Muddy Mat. Those work great. Janelle, I have not heard of that, but I will certainly look into that. Anyone with dogs or kids, Muddy Mat might be the way to go. That's funny. Vicky says, I hope you had a great weekend. Vicky, you too. I appreciate that. Tom says, in my imagination, have all the storms this winter underperformed? Tom, for us, they have. For sure, but for other parts of the country, they have not. I mean, they've had so much snow. It's been one of the snowier winters down in like Nashville and areas down towards the deep south. And the reason for that, it has everything to do with where that jet stream is. And we've been so cold January and February that jet stream went all the way down to the Gulf Coast, right? And that's where all the action is. That's where the air masses meet between warm and cold. And because that battle zone has been so far south, that's been where all the action has been. That's where the storms have not necessarily overperformed, but that's where the storms have performed. Whereas here locally, we haven't had that battle zone over us this year. It's just been kind of cold and fluffy snow when it moves in. We haven't had those good, real heavy, wet snows around here that take place where that jet stream sets up. And so, we're not done with it yet. March can bring that battle zone back over the region, right, where you can get those real heavy snows. But yeah, we have had really, I don't want to say a snowless winter. We just haven't had much snow. We've had the cold. We just haven't had the snow because everything's been pushed so far down to the south. So really interesting how it's worked. Hi, Pearl. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, Vicky, you can always use SkyMap. SkyMap's really good. Night Sky is a good app as well. Yeah, it's really cool. And you put it up, you put your phone up in the air and you can see, depending on your compass setting, where the planets are. But, our kids, we have a telescope and our kids are going to be blown away by this tonight. I haven't told them yet that there's a planetary alignment, but they're just going to be like, who cares, right? Rhonda, thank you so much. Yeah, our family's great. We've been great for about 2 weeks now. And I know a lot of you have been sick and going through it. Flu's going around. We had flu. I had pneumonia, which who gets pneumonia? But anyway, yeah, it was a mess. And I know a lot of people are going through that. And other people I know have, like other families that we know, have been going through the norovirus, which, oh gosh, please, no, it's the only thing we haven't gotten this winter. Knock on wood. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing all right too in terms of health and all that. It's been a brutal winter, and I know everyone's dealing with it. So there you go. Let's see. Climate model suggests, Ethan says, climate model suggests an active severe weather season in Northwest Indiana. Wonderful pan out. When do you think severe weather stops ramping up in the region? Ethan, great question. It just depends on when that old jet stream, our friend the jet stream, decides to come north again. But, March can get real interesting. To me, it's more about April, especially kind of the way the climate's been set up here in terms of the weather pattern. I think April's going to put on a show. But we'll see. It all depends on. We've got to have warm air, right? You can't have severe weather without warm air involved, and we don't have the warm air yet. So I don't see any big severe weather setups anytime soon. But Ethan, great question, and we're going to be getting into it for soon. Oh, Maxwell, got my first suntan yesterday. Maxwell, already? You can. I mean, think about it. Our sun, if you go back in time, is equivalent to an October sun, and you can get burnt in October. So, as we continue to carry on, that sun angle getting higher and higher. We're getting there. Lynn says, best invention, those Muddy Mats. I have 3. Awesome. Yeah, Pearl, go check it out if you can. JP, sinuses and allergies been crazy last few weeks. Is that weather related at all? JP, I can't say it is. What's interesting though, the allergies, our spring allergies are not tied to when the trees are coming out, with the leaves, or when the plants are coming up. Everything kind of gets going early. So it certainly could be, as we're bringing the soil back and We were coming out of church today and there's daffodils popping up, and we've had snow on the ground for two months straight. So I'm like, how do they even know? But these plants know what's going on, and they can put out the pollen and the allergens and stuff like that in advance. So we'll see. But I don't think it's weather related. I think it's probably just a seasonal thing. And the dry air doesn't help either. This cold, dry air we've had does not help anyone. That's why it's important to have a humidifier or a couple in your house. Maxwell's been great. He's been doing vitamin D and raw honey. Ooh, yeah. We do occasionally. We'll do garlic with honey, and just you swallow it like you mush it up or whatever, and then you just swallow it whole. I've heard that works. What's the other one we do? Elderberry. My wife's doing this elderberry. She boils it, and then you have this. I don't know. But then we've got the flu, so I'm not giving you any advice. No, I don't think so, Jimmy. I don't think the snow's done. It's not safe to say that by any means. I don't see any big snows coming up. We'll have to keep an eye. The GFS has a system next week, and it has some real good snow on us. This time of year, though, we're getting into heavy, wet snow. You know that. Tough to push around, tough to plow. I don't think we're done yet, though. I really don't. We're getting into March. We're probably, again, I'll do the math. I'll do posts this week, but I think we're in the 70s in terms of percent for how much snow we should have in by now. About 70. My guess would be 3/4 of our winter's done by now. But we're not done completely. So there's that. All right. I know you want to put the plow away. I know. Not yet, buddy. All right. It'll be landscaping season before you know it. All right, guys. Thanks so much. I hope I answered all your questions. I hope, again, you get something out of this. That's the whole point. I do this for you. You guys are awesome. Just thank you. I'm always humbled every day by you guys taking time out of your schedule to join me. I really do. So, again, I hope you get something out of it. If there's something else you want to see, message me or put it in the chat. Would be happy to cover that for you, okay? Pearl says I do garlic and honey. It really helps. Yeah. It helped till we got the flu. So there's that. Apparently flu shots help for that, which we forgot to get this year. That's fun. All right. Anyway, enjoy. We'll be on the radio side of things this week, as you guys know, and we'll keep you updated on a little bit of rain coming our way. Again, nice set of 3 days here to start our week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Should get into the 50s or upper 40s. And boy, it's going to be feeling nice outside. So there's that. All right, guys, have a good time. We'll